There was a horrific murder at a wedding in northeastern Thailand on Saturday, 25th of November 2023. The details of this story are extremely disturbing. Be warned before you watch this video. It was the wedding day of 29-year-old Chaturong Suksuk, a young man who had found love in a 44-year-old woman known as Kanchana Pachuntwek. The 29-year-old groom Suksuk is a decorated Thai para-athlete who has been in love with his fiancée Kanchana, and together they've lived for 3 years before deciding to tie the knot on the 25th of November 2023. Suksuk and Kanchana were said to have celebrated their traditional wedding on Saturday morning, while the feasting and party followed afterwards. The party was said to have lasted well into the night, but the guests at the wedding could not but notice that Suksuk, the 29-year-old groom, was not looking so happy during the feasting and partying that was going on. Much later into the night, the couple were said to have had a little argument over private matters, even though it is unknown what exactly the argument was about. While the guests at the wedding were still enjoying the feasting and partying that night, the groom was said to have left the party ground, went into his car, and returned soon after with a pistol. The groom specifically targeted his wife, her mother, and younger sister. The three of them he was said to have shot to death at the wedding party. Two other guests were not spared by the bullet, as a 50-year-old guest was hit by the bullet and later died at the hospital, while the 28-year-old guest, who was also hit by the bullet, survived the gun injuries. After Suksuk has shot all these people, he was said to have turned the gun back to his head, shot himself dead on the spot. Suksuk was a former Marine soldier who was said to have lost his leg during a train accident while he was on duty. And like I said, he is a celebrated Thai para-athlete. He had won a silver medal at the 11th Asian Para Games in Indonesia last year, 2022. And he was also listed to compete in the World Ability Games in 2023, December, talking of a month from now. The police was called to the crime scene and they evacuated all the bodies of the deceased. And they're currently investigating the motive behind this horrific murder. Now, even though the motive for this horrific murder is yet known at this moment, some people have questioned why Suksuk had his gun in his car on his wedding day in the first place. To this group of people, they sort of feel that it was premeditated because he had specific people that he targeted. But for the two people that were hit by stray bullet, talking about the 50-year-old and 28-year-old wedding guests, he specifically targeted people related to his bride. So that sort of signifies that that murder wasn't just from the blues, it was premeditated. It appears almost as though he had unsettled scores with his bride and her family. Otherwise, why did he specifically target his bride, her mother, and her younger sister? Those were not random shootings or killings, but for the two that were hit by stray bullets. This is quite tragic. And what is even more tragic is the fact that the perpetrator of these wanton killings has taken his own life. So who would the law hold responsible for these killings? It's quite sad that the victims of the groom would never get to have justice. Or would you say that him killing himself should be considered as justice for his victims? I would love to know your thoughts on this story. Please leave your thoughts in the comment section. Do you think that there could ever be justification for such killings? Let me know what you think about the story in the comment section. We pray that the soul of the deceased will rest in peace. In the meantime, guys, take care of yourself, take care of your emotions, take care of your mental health. Be kind to yourself, be kind to the people around you, and always stay safe. I remain Dorcas Ige Olukun, and I love you guys.